titled The Peculiar Feeling of the Not Anytime Soon, a short and quick look at what we call homesick or homesickness. There is a kind of sickness not cataloged by physicians, not eased by pills or sleep. It doesn't strike the body first, though the body feels its weight. It isn't depression, though it shadows thought. It's something subtler, quieter, and more enduring than either grief or sorrow. You don't name it right away. At first it feels like distraction, then a chill, then a pattern. Eventually, it is a presence all its own, not loud, but constant, a hum beneath the structure of your daily life. We call it homesickness. But that word does not always tell the truth, because sometimes you are at home, and you are still sick. Not for another place, but for a person who is not coming, and worse, for a future that isn't unfolding. This is not just sadness. This is a kind of metaphysical stasis, a suspension of movement, a stall in time, and that is where we begin. I, the man who waits alone. There is a man. He is at home. He has made his coffee the same way every morning for years. There is a door. It stays closed. He is not foolish. He knows she is not coming. Not today, not tomorrow, maybe never. He has said it out loud, has told himself the truth. He has practiced saying her name less and less until it barely stirs in the throat. He has trained his voice not to tremble when friends ask if he is seeing anyone. And still, he waits. Why? Because waiting isn't just about what we think will happen. It's about what the structure of our being has prepared to happen. His life was shaped in the form of another's return, of shared days, of mutual motion through time. And now, in the absence of that shape, he cannot simply become a new man. He remains this one, the one who listens for the door, the one who holds still. Second, 2 kinds of homesick. The ordinary kind of homesick is directional. You are away. You want to return. There is a fixed origin point, a bed, a chair, a smell. Your longing has a path, even if it is painful. The ache is for a thing that exists, and the wound is one of separation. But the other kind, the metaphysical kind, is when you are home, and it still feels wrong. The walls are the same. The couch still creaks. The hallway still holds your shape. But the field is ruptured. There is no hum of presence, no evidence of return, and yet the waiting continues. Why? Because homesickness, in this case, is not about space. It is about convergence, about the expectation that 2 lives will meet again. When that expectation decays, something internal remains active, an engine running without direction. It is a sickness caused not by dislocation, but by the persistence of a promise that can no longer be fulfilled. The peculiarity of not any time soon. Let us now turn to the phrase, not easily resolved anytime soon. This is not the same as never. That would be a different kind of sentence, cleaner, colder, a full amputation. But this is worse in a way, because it invites a question. When, then? If not soon, when? And in that word, soon, lies the weight of the whole thing. Soon implies a potential horizon. Not tomorrow, but eventually. Not today, but within reach. But not any time soon flattens that horizon. It extends the future without end. It removes even the outline of hope. It does not kill the dream. It leaves it suspended, like a fly in amber. You don't mourn in the traditional sense. You don't move on. You don't prepare. You just stay indefinitely. This is where the peculiar feeling begins to show its shape. It is not acute pain. It is dissonance, an unresolved chord in the structure of being. You are both aware that nobody is coming home, and yet you remain in the act of waiting. This is the metaphysical problem, the self split in 2. One part reconciled to absence, the other part still tuned to return. This is not grief. Grief burns, but then it cools. This is worse. This is the maintenance of readiness in the face of silence. The physics of separation. What does it mean to be far from another? Geography is the obvious answer, but we are not speaking here about mileage. We are speaking about a kind of existential distance, a rupture between states of being. You are here, still wired for return, still arranging your days around a second presence that no longer arrives. She is elsewhere, in another life, or in no life at all, or perhaps still alive, but no longer in resonance with yours. And the distance between these states is immeasurable, To cross it would require more than a walk, more than courage. It would require a reconfiguration of the universe, for time to reverse, for choices to dissolve, for wounds to unhappen. And yet, and this is the part that breaks the bones, you wait. You wait because something in you still believes in proximity, not intellectual belief, but cellular, breath-based, the kind of belief that does not ask your permission. V. The philosophy of the empty door. A closed door is not neutral. It carries implication. It suggests interruption or promise or security. When a man waits for someone to return through a door that stays closed, the door becomes a threshold of despair. It is the outline of a future that does not occur, an architectural metaphor for suspended life. Each time he looks at it, half-consciously with the back of his eyes, he is not asking, "Will she come?" He is reliving the moment before she used to come. The door becomes a portal to memory, not future. And this, too, is a sickness, the looping of time, a recursive present haunted by past returns. This is what makes it existential, to be caught in time without direction, not dead, not alive, but circling. 6. On the long road from here to there. You said it precisely. To go from the feeling I have right now, waiting for somebody to come home, to actually being in a position where I will actually wait for an actual person to come home who actually will come home. That's a long road, man. Let us look at that road. It is not paved. It is not visible. It is not guaranteed to lead anywhere. That road is made of trust rebuilt, of meaning recovered, of time reestablished between two souls. It is a road across a kind of metaphysical wasteland. You can't walk it directly. You must be reconstituted. You must become again the kind of man who can be met at the door, not just the one who waits behind it. That is no small task, because this kind of waiting scars. It alters the internal clock. It erodes the idea that companionship is a probable outcome of living. It replaces expectancy with ritual. And to re-enter time, to truly wait for someone again, not as delusion, but as fact, requires the dismantling of layers that have hardened around the wound. That is why the fragment ends not with closure, but with suspension. This is a peculiar feeling not easily resolved anytime soon. It does not ask you to solve it, it merely asks you to know it, to name it, to live with it as one lives with weather, present, shifting, larger than oneself. 7th, metaphysics of one. To live alone is not merely to lack companionship, it is to exist in a one-body system, to be the sole observer, the sole witness, the sole voice echoing in your own world. This creates an ontological compression, a shrinkage of time's branching pathways. When there are two, time forks. Decisions multiply, conversations build spirals of causality and shared pattern. But when there is only one, time becomes linear, a corridor with fewer openings. That's why a man alone often speaks less, because language itself was born in the field between two, and when that field collapses, the words flatten. They no longer move forward, they circle back. This looping of mind is what feeds the peculiar waiting, because in a two-body system, waiting is reciprocal. It has tension, pull, inertia, but in a one-body system, waiting becomes an echo. It deepens instead of completing. This metaphysical condition is not well understood by those who've never lived it. But it is real. It corrodes. It thins the membrane between person and ghost. Fate, the ontology of soon. Let us examine that final word again, soon. Soon is not a number. It is not a date. It is a concept suspended between certainty and desire. When a man says soon, he is not just indicating time. He is preserving the soul's ability to endure the present. So when you say not anytime soon, you are acknowledging a rupture in that capacity. This is not a logistical complaint. It is an ontological one. It means I do not currently inhabit a universe in which the shape of what I need is approaching. It means my relationship to time has broken. The path ahead is not marked. My tools of navigation no longer function, and this is what we must reckon with. That not soon becomes a kind of condition, not just a schedule. It is a reality in which the world offers no ladder, no light, no sign, and you must build forward without incentive, without confirmation, without echo. That is what it means to endure, not with style, not with grace, but with gravity. The final implication, She is not coming. We must speak the truth plainly now. She is not coming home. This is not a failure of hers, nor of yours. It is the condition of things. Her absence is not an event. It is a climate, and you are living within it. So what remains? You, still at home, still waiting, though you know the truth. Still listening to the door as if it meant something. Still tending the shape of the life you built to hold to. That is the peculiar feeling. Not grief, not hope, not delusion, but this, the persistence of readiness in a world that no longer asks it of you. Final word. The sickness is not weakness. The waiting is not foolishness. The peculiar feeling is the artifact of love that remembered itself too well. And that is not easily resolved. Not today, not tomorrow, not anytime soon. And also not anytime not soon.